Hi everyone, it's Rach. Welcome back to my channel. So on today's Daily Dose of Happiness, I'm going to be doing another good news roundup. Basically, what I did a couple of days ago was I did a roundup of all the good news stories that had made me smile. It got lots of really nice feedback. People seemed to really enjoy the video, so I thought that I'd make it a regular thing. Obviously, there's lots of not very nice news at the moment, a lot of darkness, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering going on in the world, and I just want to try and bring people a little bit of light, a little bit of hope, and some of the nicer stories that have gone on in the world and kind of emerging from this horrible, devastating illness, just to try and, I suppose, remind people that where there's darkness, there's always light and there's always a bit of hope. So yeah, basically today I'm going to be sharing some news stories that have made me smile. The last video, I will pop the link for down below. Be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Those were all UK based, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I've got some from across the pond as well today. So yeah, the first news story that really made me smile when I was doing some research for this video was a news story about a dog in Colorado. And basically this dog is called Sundance, and the lady who owns this dog realised that she had a really vulnerable neighbour who needed groceries and food. She didn't want to, just go up and knock on the door and be taken of these things, because then that obviously was going to increase the risk to that vulnerable neighbour. So what she did is she trained her dog to basically deliver packages of food, meals, and the dog now even goes and collects this woman's post for her, takes her letters up for her, which I just thought was absolutely lush. I love that. I'm an animal lover anyway. I have a dog. I adore him. So yeah, absolutely love that. How fantastic. One of the other stories that made me smile is there is a lady in the UK down south. She's made a virtual pub on Facebook that anyone can join. So there's, like, when I went to check it out, because I've joined myself, which I'm very excited about, there's 20,000 members already. So if you go on Facebook and search for the virtual pub, it should come up there. I'll leave a link for it down below as well. And basically, what they're doing is a whole variety of things, but one of the things that I really loved about it is they're getting musicians to live stream sets. And basically what people can do is donate some money if they're watching that particular live stream to the musicians, who obviously at the moment don't have an income, a lot of them, if that was their sole source of income. So yeah, what an amazing way to be supporting artists and musicians whilst also doing something a bit fun, a bit different, chatting to people from all over. You kind of just say, oh, here's me, I'm having me pint of beer, or whatever it is you're having. And yeah, there's loads of stuff they're doing. I think it's absolutely fab. So one of the other things that really, really made me smile, I read about a guy in London who was due to run the London Landmark Half Marathon. And basically that's obviously been cancelled as a result of COVID-19. So what he decided to do, because he still really wanted to raise the money for charity, he was doing it for a children's charity who basically help kids who have debilitating illnesses and sort of terminal illnesses. And basically because he wanted to raise the money for the charity, he ended up doing a half marathon on his balcony, the balcony of his flat. He did 5,000 laps of his flat, which I just think is like phenomenal. I mean, what a guy. They had to basically self-isolate because his partner was showing symptoms. So yeah, he did 5,000 laps of his balcony just to make sure that he fulfilled what he said he was going to do to those who had sponsored him. So I just think that's wonderful. Really made me smile. One of the other things that I've loved, actually, this isn't just one news story. I've heard about so many of these all around the world, really. Actually, I've heard about them in all different countries. But basically, teenagers normally get a pretty bad rap in the press. And I've heard so many incredible stories of teenagers in this country, and like I say, around the world, doing phenomenal things to help vulnerable people in their communities. So in the UK, we've got a couple of teenagers who are doing care packages for elderly and vulnerable people. I've heard in America of teenagers going out and doing grocery shopping for vulnerable people in their community. And yeah, it's just wonderful. Like I say, I think young people get a really hard time and not always a fair time of it in the press. So I think it's great to see these stories emerging of young people just being wonderful. Oh, and the last story is brilliant, so much fun. Basically, I read about a DJ down in Shropshire, which is in England. And he had twin daughters. It was their 13th birthday, so he wanted to do something nice for them and also something nice for his community. And he basically got his decks out, set it all up outside with his speaker, his microphone, everything, and did a whole outdoor disco. And so that everyone was practicing social distancing. He said, you know, stay in your gardens, at your windows, whatever. But he got everyone out, whole street, going wild, having a party, which I just thought was fantastic. And to be quite honest, I'm jealous. If anyone on my estate has DJ decks, I feel like they should be doing this. So yeah, those are my good news stories for today. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. If you've got good news stories of your own that you'd like to share, then please leave me a comment because I'd love to hear them. They really do make me smile. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow. Not every day is going to be a good news video, but I am going to be doing them regularly. So yeah, if you want to see more of them, make sure you leave me a comment and let me know. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.